Why Bangladesh's industrial sectors are so unsuccessful. When we talk about the poor state of the job market in Bangladesh, the first thing that comes to mind is the struggles of our industrial sector. Why is it that our industries are so often unsuccessful? Why does the business environment seem so unfriendly? If someone wants to start a business or become an entrepreneur, how many hurdles must they face before even getting started? And what role are banks, NGOs, and other institutions really playing in this picture? In this video, we will try to uncover one key reason behind these challenges and understand why our industries have not been able to thrive as they should. According to the National Industrial Policy of 2016, Bangladesh has identified several priority sectors to drive industrial growth and economic development: agro, food, and instruments, ready-made garments, RMG, ICT and software, drugs, medicine goods, tanneries, light engineering mills, textiles and garments, sugar mills, rice mills, and brick mills. These sectors are supposed to create jobs, generate exports, and build the foundation of our economy. Yet, despite all the potential, many of them struggle to survive. Why? In this video, we'll take a closer look at the realities behind these numbers, the successes, the failures, and the challenges that ordinary entrepreneurs face in keeping these industries alive. There was a time when our industries stood as the backbone of the nation. Textiles, jute, and sugar mills once symbolized prosperity, pride, and self-reliance. They grew out of our natural advantages: abundant raw materials, affordable labor, skilled hands, and favorable conditions. After 1947, their importance only deepened. But what followed was disheartening. With partition came political turbulence, repeated changes in management, and, most tragically, a failure to keep pace with the fast-changing global economy. Factories that once echoed with the sound of machines and the livelihoods of thousands now stand silent, some even abandoned. Even after the government poured in thousands of crores through subsidies and allocations, these industries could not recover. In the end, the state was forced to close many of them or hand them over to private management. But even then, very little changed. Investigations revealed a harsh truth. Most institutions and entrepreneurs tied to these factories were already drowning in bank loans. The reality is painful. Outdated machinery, lack of product diversification, rising operational costs, and poor leadership have crushed profitability. What once began with the dreams and sacrifices of a few visionary individuals has, in many cases, ended in bankruptcy. And now, in 2025, the picture is even bleaker. Insufficient investment and political instability have left most factories stagnant. The few that are still alive are barely breathing. Production is slowing, workers are uncertain about tomorrow, and communities that once depended on these mills are sinking into despair. This is not just about factories closing. It is about livelihoods lost, skills wasted, and a legacy disappearing before our very eyes. Another vital pillar of our economy is the ready-made garment industry, employing an estimated 40 lakh workers, 60 to 65% of whom are women. This sector alone generates 84% of the country's total export income, contributing around 11% to the national economy. It is truly the lifeblood of Bangladesh's trade and employment. Yet, this very dependence on a single sector has created a fragile foundation. The industry relies heavily on orders from North America and Europe. Any disruption, cancellation of orders, changes in political conditions, or shifts in trade policies has an immediate and severe impact. The consequences are not abstract numbers. They affect real lives: factory closures, lost jobs, unpaid wages, and struggling families. Adding to the pressure, the Bangladeshi garment industries face intense competition in the global market. To survive, they are often forced to rely on cheap labor, outdated infrastructure, heavy bank loans, and risky business practices, while many workers go unpaid or underpaid. What should have been a source of national pride has, for many, become a daily struggle for survival. An industry that propels our economy forward, yet teeters on the edge of uncertainty with every international market shift. This is the reality of our industrial landscape today, a mix of proud history, missed opportunities, and fragile progress. If we fail to act, We are not just losing factories or export revenue. We are witnessing the erosion of livelihoods, dreams, and the spirit of a nation that once built its future in its own hands. The state-owned industries of Bangladesh often resemble white elephants, costly to maintain yet yielding almost nothing in return. The government rarely sees any profit from these consistently loss-making enterprises. In an attempt to reduce losses, over 250 factories have been brought under denationalization, corporatization, privatization, or public-private partnerships, PPP, but the results have been largely disappointing. Business leaders often point to Bangladesh's overdependence on cotton-based products as a major reason behind the ongoing crisis in the ready-made garment, RMG, sector. The recent slowdown in RMG production has also hit the accessories industry hard, showing how interconnected our industrial sectors truly are. It is widely believed that economic growth creates jobs and reduces unemployment. Yet in Bangladesh, this growth has failed to generate enough decent work for its youthful and expanding population. Between 2013 and 2017, the country's GDP grew at an average annual rate of 6.6%, but job growth lagged far behind, at just 0.9% per year. Today, roughly 65% of our population is of working age, yet finding a decent job remains a major challenge. Nearly 85% of the workforce is engaged in the informal sector, where wages are low, jobs are insecure, and social protections are nearly non-existent. According to the Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics, unemployment rose from 4.07% in mid-2023 to 4.49% in mid-2024, leaving over 26 lakh people without work. This is a classic example of what economists call jobless growth, an economy that expands, yet leaves many behind. According to the latest financial stability report by Bangladesh Bank, the ready-made garment, RMG, and textile industries, two of the country's largest employers and top export earners, also rank among the biggest defaulters on bank loans. According to a report from Bangla Tribune, all three pillars of the economy, banks, the stock market, and industries, are showing signs of deep distress. Long-standing lax policies, political influence, and widespread corruption have left the banking sector burdened with an overwhelming amount of non-performing loans. The latest estimates from Bangladesh Bank show that non-performing loans stood at around Taka 6 lakh crore at the end of last June. On top of this, another Taka 3.18 lakh crore of hidden non-performing loans are in the process of being disclosed. This includes Taka 1.78 lakh crore stuck in money-lending courts, Taka 80,000 crore that has been written off, and Taka 60,000 crore held up due to court stay orders. In total, once the Central Credit Bureau, CIB, updates its records, the full extent of non-performing loans could reach an alarming Taka 9 lakh crore, a figure that underscores the severe financial stress weighing on the country's economy. This is not just a banking problem. It's a national crisis, with serious implications for industries, businesses, and the everyday lives of millions of workers and entrepreneurs. This highlights a striking contradiction. While these sectors drive Bangladesh's economy and provide livelihoods for millions, they simultaneously struggle with heavy financial burdens, mounting debts, and loan defaults. The challenge is clear. These industries are vital to the nation's growth, yet their long-term sustainability remains under serious threat. Looking at these figures, one thing becomes clear. The textile and garment industries play a vital role in Bangladesh's industrial sector. Historically, this sector has thrived thanks to the subcontinental environment and cultural factors. But why haven't other industries grown in the same way? The answer lies in dependence. Most other industries rely heavily on imported raw materials and are vulnerable to fluctuations in market demand. That's why the government prioritizes the textile sector, sometimes even giving it preferential treatment through subsidies. It remains one of the few industries capable of generating exports and earning foreign currency, sustaining the country's economic lifeline.